All right. So good morning, friends. Good morning, Corey. Come sit next to me. So let's take a moment and come to stillness, finding a nice, comfortable seat, whatever that happens to look like in your body. No, siéntate, bájate, bájate, all the way down. Good boy. And just take a moment to root down. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. And start by just finding a little bit of peace, a little bit of grounding. Feel the way your breath is moving in your body. Begin to connect to the way your breath and body move as one. So on your inhale, feel your spine rolling out nice and long. And then exhale and soften a little bit, releasing tension. Inhaling, lifting, rising, lengthening. And exhale to soften. On your next exhale, release your hands down by your sides, and on your inhale, let's find some sun breaths. Bringing in some brightness, sweeping your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhaling, finding that radiant, beautiful expression again, and exhaling through. And let's follow this a few more times, just moving on your breath. And on this next exhale, sweep your hands to heart center. Take a moment right here to set your practice intention. So whatever energy you'd like to cultivate right here on your mat. And once that intention is set, simply release your hands down, walk them forward, and sweep your feet around behind you. Let's start in tabletop just to gently begin opening. And you have choices here, right? So you can find cat-cow, rolling your heart open, and exhaling to coil, or spending a little time in free-form sahaja spinal movement. Just shifting from side to side. And we're just going to use this space to begin to notice where you need to move, right? Finding those little spaces of tension, of discomfort, and easing them. And in this fluid, intuitive space, begin to find movement that brings you toward your downward facing dog. And you can get there gently and easily, right? Just remembering that this practice is all about doing what feels right for our bodies. So once you're making your way toward downward facing dog, keep moving. Bend one knee and then the other. Remember, you can shift your shoulders and your spine, just easing into practice. And then stabilize your downward facing dog. Take a moment to root. So we root our heels toward the mat. We place our hands firmly. We press through the palms. Try to relax your head and your neck. Melt your heart toward the earth. Inhale to look forward and exhale to walk your feet to your hands. Now, once you've arrived at your hands, surrender into forward fold. So just taking a moment to drain out any tension that might have accompanied you to your practice this morning, anything from the weekend that doesn't need to be here. Just let that roll out into the earth. And then bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. And set your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Root down into your feet and begin to draw all of that energy up from the earth. Draw up on your inner arches of your feet. Feel your quads engage. Draw your navel toward your spine, lengthen your tailbone so we feel all of this energy rising from the earth. Shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward. So in the tradition of yoga in which I was trained, we begin with namaskars. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Plant your fingertips, inhale to step your right foot back to lunge. So we're going to start lifted here, but we're going to plant that right hand to the center of the mat, or if you're using blocks, onto a block at the center of the mat. On your inhale, peel your left arm open, reaching to the sky. Exhaling, lowering down, trunk of Ganesha, curling that left arm underneath. Inhaling, peeling open. And exhaling, curling under. And we just follow our breath here, opening and then coiling. And on this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat, space evenly. Press back, find your downward facing dog, and walk it out again a little bit, right? We're still just warming up. I was telling Susan before class that I walked a lot yesterday. We accidentally did, I think, a couple extra miles on the C&O Canal Trail. It was so beautiful. So I'm definitely stretching out my hamstrings. So whatever needs to move in your body, that's what goes right here. And then come to stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, roll your body all the way out to plank, nice and fluid. Let's build a little bit of heat right here. So press into your palms and really feel the buoyancy in your shoulders. Feel your heart and your heels reaching away from each other on the inhale. Exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling to coil in. And remember, if this is a little too much right out the gate, you can just drop your knees to the mat and experience this same pulse in half plank. On your next exhale, lower your knees all the way down to the mat. Shift your shoulders forward. Full half plank here, staying strong through the core. Bend your elbows and float your way down. Let's walk our toes back, create plenty of space. Fingertips are wide. Begin to roll one shoulder and then the other through creative cobra. Just finding some openness, maybe some clicking noises. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders, turn your toes under. Press it back, downward facing dog. And again, just finding a little movement as you settle into your down dog, and then rooting. Inhale to sweep your right leg to the sky. Now let's sustain right here. So plant your palms, really keep that weight even in your shoulders as you sustain three-legged dog, and then turn your right toes out. So the hip is already a little bit open here. With every inhale, feel a little more length, a little more pressing through that right heel. Exhale to soften, melting your heart toward the mat, melting that left heel toward the mat as well. And on this exhale, coil your right knee in, roll forward, place that right foot between your hands. So we're going to set up for that same flowing lunge on this side, that twist. Plant your left hand at the center of the mat. On your inhale, peel your right arm open, reaching to the sky. Exhale, trunk of Ganesha, curl that right arm underneath the right leg. Inhaling, peeling open. And exhaling, curling under. And again, let's follow our breath right here. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Space evenly, look forward. Exhale, step together and fold. Soften here. As always, consciously relax the back of your neck and head. As humans, we carry so much stress right here, so a conscious attempt to let that go is good. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment to reset your Tadasana if you need to. If you move, just reroute and then rise. Strong energy moving up from the earth, staying engaged. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Now this time, halfway rise. Bring your hands to your shins or to the mat, maybe to your thighs. Roll your heart forward. So we create a flat back here, pressing the tailbone away. Exhale to soften. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway rise. Exhale to soften, and one more time, halfway. And on this exhale, plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your left foot back and down to lunge. So once again, setting up that nice strong lunge. We're going to root that left hand to the center of the mat. Inhale to peel your right arm open. Now this time, let's find shoulder mandalas. So we're going to sweep that right arm all the way around in a circle. Finding full range of motion, and at the top, turning our heart toward the sky. Now, as you do that, make sure you're still hugging your midline. So your inner thighs are drawing toward each other. We're still rooting through that big toe, through the balls of the foot. And on this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Press it back, downward facing dog. Wiggle it out a little bit, and then stabilize. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, roll your body all the way out to plank. So this time on your exhale, drop your heels off to the right-hand side and squeeze through your side waist. Inhale to center, off to the left, squeezing through your side waist. Inhale, and right. And just flowing from side to side on your breath. And then come back to center. Yogi's choice this time, knees lifted or lowered. Chaturanga. Coming all the way down to the mat. Let's walk those toes back again. And one more big juicy shoulder opener right here. So bring your fingertips wide and roll it out. Creative cobra, big, beautiful circles. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Turn your toes under, press back. Downward facing dog. Again, a little movement right here, and then root, stabilize. Bring your toes to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. So we're going to find that same sustain in three-legged dog. So even out the weight in your shoulders and hands, root your right heel toward the mat, and then turn your left toes out. So we're already feeling that hip starting to open. And then we press through that left heel. On every inhale, feel a little more height, a little more length. On your exhale, soften. On this next exhale, coil your left knee in, shift forward. Place your left foot between your hands. So let's set up for that twisting lunge. Plant your right hand at the center of the mat. Stabilize. Inhale, peel your left arm open. Shoulder mandalas this time, so sweeping around in a circle. And remembering turning your heart toward the sky at the top. Keep hugging that midline, inner thighs drawing toward each other, even though our feet are staggered. And both hands down to the mat, space evenly. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, step together and surrender, relax. Find movement, rock from side to side. Come to stillness, bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Check in with your Tadasana, reset if you moved. Re-engage, waking up, root to rise. So roots reaching down, energy flowing up. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Now this time we're going to plant our fingertips at the top of the mat and then leave them there. If you are in the tight hamstrings club with me for this particular sequence, sometimes blocks can be helpful. On your inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky. Now we're going to sustain here so the weight stays shifted into that left foot. Exhale to coil knee to knee. Inhale, extend your right leg toward the sky. Exhaling to coil knee to knee. So there's a little pulsing standing split here. Just curling and then finding extension. And as you flow here, remember you can begin to turn that right hip out toward the side, so opening. That can sometimes find us a little more height. On your next exhale, we're going to step that right foot all the way back and down and lower down to your right knee. Walk your hands all the way up your left knee. And let's begin to get into that hip flexor. So from here, on your inhale, lift up and out, feel nice and tall. And then exhale, sink deeply in that left knee and try to melt your right hip toward the earth. Inhaling, lifting up and out. Exhaling, softening. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. From here, knees come together, hips stay high. Walk your hands forward, melting your heart toward the earth, Anahatasana, puppy dog pose. Now, you do have choices here. If your shoulders are tender today, you can always bend your elbows and take a little of that tension off. Also, if your shoulders are very open and you find that your forearms are on the mat, you can tent your fingers to give yourself a little more space for this stretch. And then roll your way all the way out and down onto your belly. Come on down to the mat. Walk your toes back. And let's set up for Sphinx Pose. So we're going to bring our shoulders directly, we're going to bring our shoulders under our elbows. Good luck with that, everyone. Bring your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Plant your forearms, spread your fingers, press into your palms and forearms, and feel how buoyant your shoulders are here. So from this space, let's turn our toes under. Draw your awareness to where your belly is resting on the mat. On an exhale, begin to roll your way up. Core, hips, quads, knees, forearm plank. And we'll just cultivate a little heat right here. Same pulse as full plank. Exhaling, draw your navel toward your spine. Inhale, heart and heels reach away from each other. And just make sure you're still pressing into your forearms, into your palms, staying nice and buoyant through the shoulders. And then we'll roll it back down, knees, quads, hips. Make a pillow with your hands, rest your head and rock your hips from side to side. You can do windshield wiper legs here if that feels good. I like the way it feels in my body. Come back to stillness at the center. Lower your toes down to the mat. Fingertips come to beneath your shoulders. Press it back, downward facing dog. Bring your toes to touch the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky. Now this time, let's bend that right knee and press your heel over toward your left side. So nice, big, beautiful hip opening here. Every inhale, press that heel away a little more. Every exhale, soften just a touch. On your next exhale, coil your right knee in. Shift forward, place your right foot between your hands. Lower your left knee down and walk your hands up your right knee. So let's find that same hip opening pulse. Inhale, lift up and out. Exhale, sink into your right knee and let your left hip melt toward the earth. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling to soften. Just a couple more times right here. And both hands come down to the mat. Turn your left toes under, lift your back knee. Shift your weight into your right foot. On your inhale, float that left leg long behind you, fingertips coming to the mat or to blocks. Exhale to coil knee to knee. Inhale, opening towards standing split. Extend that left leg long. And exhale to coil. And on this next exhale, step that left foot down to join your right. Forward fold, surrender. Find movement if that would feel good. And then come into stillness. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time through our opening namaskar, reset Tadasana if you need to. Again, taking a moment to root and then rise. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway rise. Exhale to fold 2 more times. Going toward that back being flat and the shoulders are rolling back and down, collarbones are open. And on this next exhale, plant your fingertips. So again, fingertips can be on the mat or blocks. Inhale to sweep your left leg to the sky. Exhale, coil knee to knee. Inhale to open. Now you have choices this round. So maybe you pulse, coiling and then opening. Maybe you sustain right here. Every inhale, reaching that left foot a little higher. If you're sustaining, you can deepen. You can bring your right hand to the back of your right calf and use it to guide your heart gently, gently, a little closer toward that right shin. And if you're sustaining, maybe you move toward unsupported, bringing both hands to that right leg. And then on your next exhale, let's step that left foot all the way back, lower down to your left knee. And walk your hands up your right knee. Good, so this time we'll add a little more movement. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, shift back, right toes rise. Sweep your hands behind you or let them touch down. Inhale to open. Exhale, shifting back, bowing over that right leg. Inhale to open. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Shift your weight into your right foot. Inhale to float that left leg to the sky. Exhale, coil knee to knee. Inhaling to open. And again, yogi's choice right here. We stabilize. Maybe you sustain, maybe you deepen. Maybe you move toward unsupported. And release. Lower that left foot down to the right. And just relax. Find a little bit of space right here. And then let's feel that on the other side. Inhale, sweep that right leg to the sky. Exhale, coil knee to knee. Inhale to extend. Yogi's choice on this side. Maybe you pulse. Maybe you deepen, bringing your left hand to your left calf, drawing your heart closer to that leg, maybe moving toward unsupported. And then on an exhale, shift it back, step your right foot all the way back and down. Lower your right knee down to the mat and walk your hands up that left knee. Let's find opening. Inhale. Exhaling, shifting back, left toes rise. Inhaling to open. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Knees together. Position your hips high, walk your hands forward. Melt through puppy dog pose, remembering your modifications here. You can always bend your elbows or tent your fingertips. And then roll your way all the way out and down onto your belly. Walk your toes back, create space. Set up your base for Sphinx Pose once more. So finding little Lego dude arms, press into the mat, both palms facing down. Turn your toes under, and on your exhale, begin to roll your way up. Finding your way to forearm plank, either sustaining here or walking your toes in for dolphin pose. Now, if you found dolphin pose, the pulse changes. On this one, exhale, come all the way up to your tippy toes. Inhaling, dropping the heels toward the earth. Exhaling, coil. And then walk your feet back. Forearm plank, knees roll it down all the way to your belly. Make that pillow with your hands, rest your head, rock your hips from side to side. Return your fingertips to beneath your shoulders and press back. Downward facing dog. Bring your toes to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. So let's find that big juicy hip opening. Bend that left knee, press your left heel toward your right side. Exhale, soften a little bit. And then inhale, find that opening again, stretch. On your next exhale, coil your left knee in, shift forward, and place your foot. Lower your right knee all the way down to the mat. Walk your hands up. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, shift back, left toes rise, fingertips sweeping behind you. Inhale. On this next exhale, both hands down. Turn your right toes under, lift that back knee. We're going to step back and switch out the legs because I made a mistake. Step your right foot forward. Perfect. So from here, we shift, we straighten. No, I was right the first time. Step your right foot back, left foot forward. Sometimes when I'm doing something complicated, I lose track. Shift your weight into your left foot. Inhale, sweep that right leg to the sky. Exhale, coil knee to knee. Inhale to lengthen. And again, yogi's choice on this side. So you can pulse, coiling and then extending. You can also sustain, maybe bringing that left hand to the back of your calf, maybe joining it with your right hand and moving into unsupported standing split. On your next exhale, step that right foot all the way down, bow over your legs, and surrender. Full lunar pause right here. Rock from side to side, let it go. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way all the way up. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release those fingertips down. So let's take a nice wide stance on the mat from here. Let your feet be parallel, right? So on your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward, wide-legged forward fold. So from here, we'll move into flowing Skandasana. Sink over to your right side, fingertips coming all the way down. Inhale to center and over to the left. Inhale and right. Now in flowing Skandasana, there are a lot of options, right? So if this feels perfect, you stay. If you'd like to, you're also welcome to move into unsupported, just finding free form expression with your arms. Now, if you happen to already have very open hips and hamstrings, you're also welcome to come all the way down. As you shift over to one side, you can sink all the way and let that opposite toe rise. And the variation you choose is just whichever one feels better in your body, remembering that that changes from day to day. Come back to stillness right here. We're going to just step our knees down, coming to tabletop, but facing the wide side of the mat. So there's another four-letter F word in yoga, and it is frog. But we're working hips today, and this is one of the best stretches for it. So what I would like you to do for frog is turn your feet out and let your knees come wide. And I'm doing this sideways so you can see it, but it's way more comfortable to cushion your knees on the mat. So begin to come down, finding your way maybe to your forearms right here, sinking your hips toward the earth. And just breathing. As with all things yoga, there are plenty of ways to make a difficult place even more challenging. So you can sustain right here. You're also welcome to find a little pulse. If you choose that option, come back up to your hands and begin to shift back toward your tailbone. Inhaling back out. Exhaling, shifting back. So remember, with any deep stretch, we only go as feels good in the body, right? Overstretching is definitely a thing that can be done. It's something I've done, so go carefully here. And then, of course, the fun part of frog is getting back out of that. So from here, we're just going to turn our feet back under and press our way back up. So once again, we're facing that broad side of the mat. From here, exhale, roll your body all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center and release your hands down. Return to the top of your mat And from here, move through your vinyasa. And by that I mean come to downward facing dog. You can do so however you would like to. Once you have arrived, bring your toes to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale to sweep your right leg to the sky. Exhale, coil your right knee in. We're going to hug to twist, drawing that right knee toward the left armpit. Inhale, up and back. Extension in three-legged dog. Exhale, coil to twist. On your next exhale, step your right foot all the way forward. Pivot your left foot back and down, warrior 2 foot position. Exhale, roll your body up, find your Vira 2. I'm going to adjust my camera real quick so I'm not decapitated. Root down into your warrior 2. Feel your hips sinking toward the earth. Again, that right foot is forward, left foot is back. Sweep your fingertips out to either side, heart reaching toward the broad side of the mat. Flip your right hand to face the sky. Inhale, up and back, dancing warrior on the exhale. Find extended side angle. And remembering that there are many different progressions of dancing warrior. If you have one that you love, choose that one. On this next exhale, begin to dive your right arm underneath your right knee. Superman your arms. Inhale, up and back. And exhale, dive underneath. Inhaling up and back. On this next exhale, we're going to plant that right hand down to the mat. Lower your left hand down to meet your right. Inhale, peel that right arm open. Sustain right here, deepening through the hips. Maybe staying exactly as you are, maybe sweeping that left arm behind you. Maybe that right hand reaches back and we find the bind. And if you have, you'll notice that your butt is probably scooting toward the back of the mat. So if you found your bind, just draw your hips back under. And release. Both hands down to the mat. Pivot on your left foot, lower down to your left knee. Shift your hips back, right toes rise. Inhale to create plenty of length. Exhale, bow over that right leg, half monkey pose. Inhaling to create length. And exhaling to release. From here, shift back and simply take a seat. So we're going to draw that left heel in toward our bodies, and we're going to cradle that right leg. So we're moving into Hindalasana here. So you can just draw that right knee in, and I always like to begin rocking out. I have kind of tight piriformis, so this feels nice in my body. Anything that helps you loosen and open through the glute, through the hip, just rocking from side to side. And once your body is feeling a little bit more open, we're going to begin to change this practice. So from here, we'll just bring that right hand to the foot, plant the left hand down for a moment, and then lengthen your spine, right? So before we ever do anything with this leg, we create length. Switch out the hands, left hand, begin to dive your right arm underneath your right knee, and plant that right hand. Switch the grip of your left hand so it comes to the outside of that foot. Lengthening again, remembering that long spine. Inhale, press into your right heel, turning to gaze underneath your left arm. Exhale to soften. Inhaling, pressing, lifting, lengthening. Exhale. Good. now from here, you can sustain this pulse, right? If this is plenty, if this is a lot, if this is challenging and strengthening, you stay right here. If you would like to add on, squeeze your upper arm with that right leg. And then we're going to bring that left hand down and cross our left ankle over the right. Stabilize. On your inhale, squeeze your inner thighs together, press your feet away. Coming back down. Inhale. And release. Let your toes come down for a minute. So, before we go any further forward, remember, there are 10,000 places to be in any yoga practice. All of them are correct, and they're going to change from day to day. So some days I have arm balances, some days I don't. Some days I'm closer to splits, some days I'm not. And that's normal. Everyone's body goes through different phases. And of course, it reflects our natural environment, which is a little weird right now. So please only do what feels good in your body, right? You can stop anywhere, and it's correct for you. So with that being said, if you would like to move toward 8-limb staff pose, toward Astavakrasana, from here, we're going to just shift our hips back, right? So we still have that left ankle crossed over the right. Now, usually once I've shifted my hips back, I need to reposition that right shoulder. So I'm just going to dive it under one more time and plant that right hand and cross my left ankle under. For Astavakrasana, you kind of want chaturanga arms. So you're going to bend your elbows. Once you're low, squeeze your inner thighs together to float your left hip up off the mat. So rather than flinging your butt off the mat, squeeze. And then come on down. And just to talk that through one more time. So we dive that right shoulder underneath the right knee, squeezing the upper arm. Ankles crossing together. Get low. And then squeeze your inner thighs together to float up into the arm balance. And then come on down. And let's take a moment to counterpose those wrists. So from here, turn your palms under to face you. Begin to rock a little bit of weight into your wrists. And of course, if you have a wrist release you prefer, do that instead, right? So some people like to shake their wrists out. Some people like to stand on their feet and wiggle their toes into their wrists. And if that feels good in your body, you go for it. And then as you are ready, simply shift back and make your way to downward facing dog. Once again, getting there however you would like to. Bring your toes to touch at the back of the mat. On your inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. Exhale, coil that left knee in, hug to twist. Left knee drawing toward right armpit. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, hug to twist. On your next exhale, we're going to hug that left knee directly forward. Place your left foot between your hands and pivot your right foot back and down. Exhale, roll your way up, Vira 2. Take a moment to settle your Warrior 2. Sink deeply into your left knee. Keep your belly engaged, radiate your arms. Flip your left hand to face the sky. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left elbow to left knee, reach your right arm long. Inhaling up and back. We're just moving through the dancing warrior of your choice. Now as you flow, begin to deepen, dive that left arm underneath your left knee. Inhaling up and back. Exhaling to dive to Superman your arms. Inhaling up and back. On this next exhale, we're going to sustain. So we'll reach that left hand down and plant it by that left foot. Lower your right hand down. Inhale, peel your arm open. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhale to peel. Maybe we stay right here. Maybe we sweep that right hand behind us. If we've got that right hand behind us, maybe we dive that left arm underneath to meet it and find the half bind. If you have, turn your hips back so that they are aligned. This is one that I don't have on my body on this side due to some Marine Corps shenanigans. So I'm not actually binding my fingertips behind me. I'm reaching behind, and that's a step on the way to that journey. And then wherever you are, both hands down to the mat. Pivot on your right foot, lower that right knee all the way down. Walk your hands back, left toes rise. Inhale, create length. And exhale, bow over that left leg. Just a couple more breaths right here, stretching it out. And then simply shift back and take a seat. So we're going to practice Astavakrasana on the other side. So from here, let's draw that right heel in, and we're going to bundle in the left leg. So once again, finding Hindalasana, cradle the baby. And again, I like to start just by rocking out a little bit. Rocking out. Sorry, it was a really bad dad joke. It's Monday, I'm allowed some dad jokes, I swear. Those are the rules. So once you feel stable here, we're going to come to stillness, plant that right hand, lengthen, right? Remember to sit tall. Then transition the grip so that right hand comes back to the foot and dive your left arm underneath that left knee. Switch your grip so the right hand is coming to the outside of the foot. Begin to press into your heel, turning your gaze underneath that right arm and lowering. Inhaling to open. And exhale. Good, so this is step one. This is one path, one little bit of progress. And we can stay right here. If this is enough, you stay exactly as you are. If you would like to add on, we're gonna squeeze that right arm with that right knee. Right hand's gonna come down to, left hand, where am I? We're gonna squeeze that left arm with that left knee. Right hand comes down to the mat. Cross your right ankle over. So once again, we're gonna begin the pulse where we squeeze the thighs together. So squeeze and press away. Inhaling back. Exhale. And lower your feet down. Okay, so 10,000 places to be, right? Let's talk through that arm balance. So for me, in Astavakrasana, I need to start by shifting my hips back, which allows me to then have a better fulcrum, right? I'm able to shift my weight lower so that my hips float easily off the mat. Once I've done that, I usually have to reset the pose. So we're gonna once again bring that left knee over that left shoulder, squeeze your left upper arm. Hands come down for Chaturanga, cross your right ankle over. Begin to bow forward and then squeeze your thighs together to float your hips up off the mat. Exhale to lower, adjusting if you're noticing anything, like I noticed that my stance for my hands was too wide there. That's better. And just have a little yoga playground here. Again, remembering this is going to be better on one side of your body than the other. For me, this is my more challenging side. And then come all the way down. Let's counterpose those wrists. Come to tabletop. Turn your palms under and begin to put a little bit of weight into your wrists. Just rocking from side to side. And then simply make your way up to seated and roll your way all the way down onto your back. Draw your knees in and rock from side to side. So in this space, we'll put the inversion of your choice. So in an inversion, what we're mostly going for is having our feet above our heart. And there are lots of options here. So one of my favorites is to simply release my palms down and press my heels to the sky. And just begin to let some of that circulation really make its way down toward my body. I am heavy chested, which means that for me, shoulder stand is not the most comfortable place in the world. But if you like shoulder stand, go for it. This is where you put that. This is also a place where you could put a handstand or a forearm handstand. Just depends on what feels better for you this morning. So choose your inversion. And then from your inversion, begin to make your way once more back down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Once you have arrived, open your arms out to either side. Make a nice big T on the mat. Drop your knees off to your right hand side and turn your head to look to the left. You're welcome to take that right hand down and find that left foot. And maybe add a little bit onto this twist, extending that left leg. Remember, you can always self-adjust, lowering that left hip, keeping it aligned toward the bottom of the mat. Inhale to come back to center. Drop your knees off to the left. Turn your head to look to the right. Again, you can always take that left hand and find your right foot if you would like. Remember, you can self-adjust, pressing your right hip low so that we keep a nice long side waist here. And come back to center. If there is any additional movement, any stretch, any asana, anything you would like to feel, take a moment to honor that request in your body. Give your body exactly what it's asking for. And then as you are ready, begin to make your way toward your Shavasana, remembering that you have many options here. You can lie flat on your back. You can bend your knees and bring your feet the width of the mat. Let your knees fall together to support you. You can lie on your side. You can take seated meditation. What's most important is that you find a way to come to stillness. So once you have found your preferred position for Shavasana, take a moment to just let go, releasing your attention. Notice the way your body is being held right now. All of those points where the earth is supporting you. And begin to just let those little points of connection become less distinct. Let them melt. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. And just let go and float. Allow your breath to create space within your body. And begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes. Point your toes away and reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, full body stretch. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over onto your right side and just soften into the posture of the sleeping child. You can cradle your head on your right arm here if that would feel good. And in this space that you have created, choose the energy you wish to carry out with you into this week. Whether it's hope or peace, stability or strength, choose your intention. And then whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We're going to close our practice this morning with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me come up and stop the recording. Go.